Alright, y'all, what it is, what it do. It's your boy Dapper back with another reaction just for you. We're continuing on with the Power Force series of season 2. This is episode 8. And I'm not gonna lie, this was a jam-packed episode. Like, I try my best to keep these videos at a decent length. Because I don't like watching things where it's like, 30, 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But this is a jam-packed episode. So I'm gonna try to keep it, as close to about 20 something minutes as I can. But before we even get into it, make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and like I said, like I always say, if you got a comment, leave it, drop it. As long as it's about Power Force, it's welcome. And with that being said, let's get into it.
Kicking older forever, gang, I'm never switching over. Made a lane and niggas can't get over. I can't mess with rappers, they be voting. Rather get the pack and keep it open.
Alright, so we have Mr. Tommy Egan here. I want to press and say I can't believe that he's like still rolling with Vic at this point. Because, the Tommy I know and we've grown up with on this show from the previous iteration of Power, I feel like Tommy would have known already that he can't trust Vic in any capacity. Now, granted, I don't think that he fully 100% trusts Vic, but it's still above 50% in my opinion if he's still rolling with dude. So my thing is like why hasn't it been obvious that Vic was, the informant, Vic was the liar? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? And then he has this thing with actually, let me rewind. I'm jumping the gun. So he ends up leaving Vic, giving Vic off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's not Vic. Said it's not you. He watched Vic kill dude, so he can't be Vic. But then he goes and presses Jannard. And the thing about me with him pressing Jannard is like Jannard probably you talking about Jannard's not gonna snitch on CBI. Like, if anything, Jannard's trying to take you personally down, Tommy, but he's not snitching on CBI. Because him taking Tommy down at this point is kind of taking down CBI if you're going to go the federal route. So with that being said, Jannard makes the least sense. Like, literally the only culprit it could possibly be is Vic, but it's like he's failing to see that. I don't know what it is. And then on top of that, we move on to his love life. You know what I'm saying? He's with Maria. Obviously, this whole season, it's been Maria being like, hey, we can't be together. Then hey, let's sneak around, and we can't be together. She's just been back and forth on him every time. Tommy obviously keeps assuring her that hey, nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna handle it. And I just want to know what she thought handle it meant. And I don't know what Tommy thinks this relationship is gonna be, because you can't have a relationship where you're consistently hiding from your brother because you think he's gonna kill him, thinks he's gonna get killed. You can't. How long is that relationship really gonna last? And then it ends up in a situation where Tommy ends up at that quinceañera because the real plug is there that even Miguel answers to, and Maria takes it personal. And we'll get into Maria when we get to Maria, but it's like, what kind of relationship do I think this is? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's a drug dealer trying to make his way, and then you're like the drug dealer's sister. I don't know what kind of relationship I thought this was gonna be. And then moving on, we have Tommy. He noticed that he was being followed, and he had his lawyer look into something. That something came back to be information that led to her saying, hey, I can't even find certain information because there's a block on it. And when there's a block on it, that means it's because there's a CI informant involved. So that's news to Tommy, even though it shouldn't be, because that whole thing with Vic should have been the eye-opener he needed. But I guess, ignorance is bliss for Tommy. Because Tommy, there's so many enemies against him, and he seems to just be moving way too comfortably. And I don't understand that, because if I had that many people out to get me, I would be moving so just frantic and just different. But Tommy's moving so comfortably. He's out with the plug, with his plug's daughter, sister. He's letting Vic slide, even though the evidence is there that it's Vic. You know what I'm saying? He's pressing Jannard, even though it can't possibly be Jannard. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's not doing his due diligence anywhere. And then episode ends off with him stepping into the barbershop where Diamond's clearly lost it, and doesn't do his due diligence to lock the door. Diamond is sitting there with dirty money and coke, literal bricks of coke on his chest and on the floor around him, and you sat there and left the door unlocked for his PO to walk in. And then, so it was weird. But then I do question, Tommy would look very intrigued after he saw Diamond go crazy. So I don't know what that sparked in his mind, or what that he felt like, or maybe he felt like Diamond's finally woken up, because maybe he felt like he hadn't gotten the real Diamond since they've been together. I don't know. We'll find out. But Tommy's got a lot on his plate. His enemies behind his back, and he's not even seeming like he's even like. But so beyond, you know, the moving with changing phones or doing this, we're moving tact. Beyond that, he seems to like be blissfully unaware. But the good news for him is he made well with Che, who's the big plug. So hopefully that bodes well for him in the end. All right, we got Diamond, or David Sampson, whatever you want to call him. It starts off with him basically in a situation where the mom, Leon's mom, she knows, I don't know if she figured out or always knew, I can't remember that, but she knows who he is. You're from CBI, you're a drug dealer, blah, blah, blah. And he basically asked her, look, give me the chance to prove to you that I am not that guy anymore. And, you know, he was doing well. Like, even the PO came to him early in the episode, like, look, because you're doing well, the speech hit people's hearts, you get guns returned in, things of that nature, you don't even gotta do a P test today. Like, you good in my book, just keep it up. Cool, so Diamond seems to be in great standing at that point. But then, you know, he still has his other duties that he's trying to hide in the background. You know, Tommy was supposed to make that, Tommy had a meeting with the another rival gang, which he then had to handle. Tommy then had to handle that meeting by himself because Diamond missed yet another meeting with the rival gang. And this time it was his presence was even more important, to the point where Tommy ended up having to take Jannard with him because he needed some prior representation of CBI prior to his, you know, his ascendance in the gang. So he misses that important meeting. He missed it for obviously what he deemed to be a more important matter, which is, you know, helping Leon. Leon's supposed to be on TV, things of that nature. Helping him put a tie on, all that other good stuff. Great feel-good father-son moments, you know what I'm saying? But with that came a moment where Leon, they're outside. He said he's going to catch up with Leon later. He turns around. The bullies that, you know, really usually bully Leon pull up. And because Leon's been taught by Diamond, you know what I'm saying, put your hands up, fight back, which is important skill, he ends up fighting back. Snuffs one of the dudes. But because this is 2023 or whenever they feel 2022, nobody believes in actually fighting anymore. Once you get hit hard, once somebody gets hit pretty hard, I got to pull out the gun, and Leon gets shot. So with Leon getting shot, it led to the mom pulling up to the site. Now the mom don't want to do it. Diamond, and Diamond's whole world crashes, and which leads to the scene where, you know what I'm saying, he's just not well. He's mentally messed up because he felt like he was, you know, he was doing so well to now not be doing well because, you know what I'm saying, of something that he couldn't control, and now people think he's a monster when it really and truly had nothing to do with him. That was just a situation that was the streets being the streets. You know what I'm saying? And the way how Diamond fell out about this, it leads me to think that like maybe he had a child in the past that he lost or something like that, of that nature, because I don't see, like, yes, he was attached to him, but it wasn't that crazy for him to be like gone about it. So I don't know, maybe it gave me vibes that like this is maybe like the second time this has happened to him. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, an underlying storyline that occurred was Leon's dad, because remember, Diamond pressed Leon's dad, told him to leave him alone. Leon's dad goes to the PO, tells him like, look, you're getting embarrassed, you're being made a fool of. Like, there is no, you cannot believe that Diamond has turned a new leaf. And then, you know, he gives him the information. He goes and pops up on, the PO pops up, and this is where, you know, like I said with Tommy, that whole scene occurs. The PO pops up on Diamond. Diamond is clearly, you know what I'm saying, inebriated. He's got the money out, the bricks out, and obviously because Tommy's there, you know what I'm saying, the only thing that got to get done is either Tommy gonna kill the PO or Diamond gonna kill the PO, and it was Diamond. And that's kind of our first time seeing Diamond's like first real one-on-one beef kind of kill. Like he killed, you know what I'm saying, when they had that plan for the serves, but other than that, it really wasn't any Diamond-led kill. Like this is the first time like him having like a real savage moment for real. So we'll see where this leads, because I don't know if this like continues for Diamond or does he look in the mirror and be like, yo, I gotta shape up. So we'll see. All right, Maria Garcia. I'm gonna try and keep this short. I know love is supposed to make you do crazy things or whatever, but this is dumb. This is dumb. Their relationship is dumb. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she thought would be the outcome of this relationship. Like, her whole thing is like, yeah, he's killed my boyfriend before, which is a crazy life to live. Like, I can't date, like, because of you or you're who you are. I can't date. That's insane to me. That's an insane way to treat your sister, first and foremost. Secondly, I don't know where she thought this was gonna go, because my thing is like, hey, there's absolutely no way that you guys can coexist. Tommy has his goal, and you're not gonna be bigger than his goal, clearly, because he shows up at the quinceañera, unbeknownst to her, and then she obviously felt the way because she felt like he used that information to get ahead, which is kind of what he did. But at the same time, it wasn't to spite her. It was just that's what the business takes, and I guess he assumed she would know that, but she didn't. And then they got into the whole conversation of like, what's gonna happen when Miguel finds out and wants to come after Tommy, and he's like, Tommy's like, he's gonna take care of it, and she's like, what do you mean? And she had to know that if it came to it, these are drug dealers, these are stone cold killers. If it came to it, Tommy is for sure going to kill Miguel, and that's where they left off. And I don't know where she thought it would go, but hey, can't talk about the sister without talking about the brother. So, Miguel, we actually run into Abuelita in this episode, and Miguel ends up having that conversation with her again, because he told him from the jump, like, look, I don't like this white boy. And he was very big on Tommy at that point, because, you know, the money he was making, things of that nature. But now Miguel is starting to see through, I wouldn't call it an act, but just see through to Tommy's real intentions, that Tommy's kind of trying to usurp him from right underneath. Pause. But, you know what I'm saying? And there's not much he can really do about it, because he's kind of been manipulated by Tommy. The only way he can really do anything is to kind of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? To, you know, kind of just kill him at this point. And because he finds out Tommy orchestrated a deal. Because the thing is, Miguel wanted to do what Tommy already had done, which is orchestrate a deal with the DSD to, you know, kind of get him, because DSD was being supplied by the Serbs, but the Serbs are no longer getting supplied by Che. So, you know, they was trying to steal that pipeline. But the thing was, Tommy already got to it quicker before him. So that was like Miguel in the head, like, damn, like, this guy's trying to become me. Like, he's trying to become me. You know what I'm saying? And obviously he's just soon trying to become Che. So Miguel and his grandma want Tommy gone, and Miguel knows it has to be done. It has to be done in a way that makes sense, because literally, what was I gonna say? Because literally TV's on. Literally, there's no like way to do it without Che being mad about it. So, sticky situation for Miguel, but something got to get done, or he gonna lose his spot. Claudia Flynn. Now, if this isn't the worst character in the show, I don't know what is. Nobody else really could be worse to me than her. Claudia she's a terrible business partner. Terrible. Because literally, there's nothing about her that she doesn't have any redeeming qualities. Her and Shanti last episode obviously struck up a deal. 50-50, we're going to do this. Shanti already even proves herself. Like, look, you can be protected by me. We're good. And then, you know, they moved the business. She moved the business to what they call the Viagra Triangle, more clubs, more money. But she did all that without consenting with Shanti, which is already bad business. It's the same thing she did to Vic. Making moves without consenting her, even though they agreed to a 50-50 partnership. You know what I'm saying? And then she gets pulled up on by the Serbs. And the Serbs are like, look, we are protecting you, so we need to cut in on this money. And that's not good news for the business, because this is a 50-50 split. But, you know, his business has to be done as it's done. You know what I'm saying? She needs the protection because Tommy is after her. The Serbs threaten, like, look, we can just tell Tommy where you're at, and you don't have to pay us anything. But, you know, she's scared for her life, so that's that. So then that leads to Shanti. Shanti, obviously appalled at first that they have to pay the Serbs because she felt she could protect them. But, you know, Shanti knows that this is probably bigger than her. You know what I'm saying? This is way bigger than her. So there's no way that, she's gonna get to be able to protect Claudia the way she needs to be, especially around the clock kind of vibes. So she agrees that to let the serfs take their money, but I think Shanti has like a deeper underlying plan that her and Jannard hopefully gonna get to, because I don't know what it is, because it's not releasing the photo. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out what her deal is and what her bigger plan is ultimately. All right, Vic. Vic is another huge part of the storyline because he is basically just living on a prayer in literal fashion, because he's by the skin of his teeth just alive. You know what I'm saying? He really was in deep issues because, you know what I'm saying, he got caught up and had to kill a cop. And then, like I said last episode, that was going to have huge implications on him going forward with the deal with the feds, which is pretty much cut off was about to get cut off because he now has to, was playing dumb with Tommy. We'll get to the deal. He was playing dumb with Tommy. And like, he's trying to be on that good side, but also still be on the, Federal's good side. So he's giving Tommy information. He tells him that Claudia approached Jannard, which makes him think, tries to fool Tommy, thinking that that Jannard's trying to work with the feds or just work against him in general, which Jannard is, but not in that manner. So it then leads to his biggest point, where now he has to end up snitching on Tommy essentially, which I was disappointed about because I didn't see it for his character. But this is all his fault anyway, because Tommy gave him an out in season 1. He didn't take it. So this is his fault entirely. But, ends up telling Tommy, even though it's not true, because he was the killer, that, Tommy killed old boy that was on the feds. And now I got to see what this leads to, because now is that enough for them to go and just find Tommy, pick him up off the street? I don't know. So Vic might have made his last move. It might be the end for Vic once somebody finds out how Vic is moving. All right, Jannard. Jannard initially is just very scared. He's very scary since, getting off the drugs and stuff, because he knows he got to move tact. If he doesn't move tact, it's over for him. He's getting killed. So he's scared because Shanti's like, we're making bread. Because Shanti pulls up on him with the bread. She's like, we're making money. And he's like, we can't be doing this underneath Tommy. Once Tommy finds out, we're done for. But Shanti always, with a plan to calm him down and boost his ego, even though he technically doesn't really deserve it. She's, I guess, in love enough, or I don't know if she's using, I don't know, I get the vibe that she's using it. I don't know that she believes in Jannard that much, or maybe she does. But, she was able to calm him down. And, he got pressed by Tommy, obviously, but like I said, it makes the least amount of sense for him to be the plug, for him to be the rat in the crew, because he has nothing to gain from doing that. But in that way, he's not going to get ahead of Tommy by snitching on him and CBI. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, so there's a plan being cocked up between him and Shanti. I'm interested to see how it really plays out, because Tommy, again, like I said, seems, I hope aloof is the word, aloof and ignorant to what's going on around the people that he's in control of. And it's kind of sending him on a wild goose chase when he really should be looking hard at the people that's literally sitting right next to him, aka Vic. So Jannard kind of pointed that out to Tommy and led Tommy in a different direction. So we'll see how that all ends up. Last and certainly least, but we got the feds. It's a big episode for the feds, especially for Stacy. Last episode she was under pressure, still under pressure, because they gave all this money for the task force. Nothing was really provided. So she pressed Vic, and basically is like, let's just get this over with. Vic doesn't want to give him any information at first, so they let him walk. But then she turns and is like, we don't have the time. We need to raid CBI now. We need to raid CBI. No warrants, nothing. And then she has the gall to go and confront Tommy face to face. And then she exposes the fact that, look, I know you're with Maria Garcia. And honestly, Miguel might get to you before me, but I'm just telling you, we know, and you got it. You know what I'm saying? She's basically giving Tommy, she's bad at her job, because I wouldn't give Tommy that information at all. But you know what I'm saying, basically putting Tommy on game. Like, look, there's more at stake. There's more going on than you even know. Like, we're closer to you than you think, which puts Tommy on alert. Then she goes to confront Maria face to face, and then she drops the bomb like, yo, because Maria's obviously probably been through this 1 or 2 times, and it's like she's not giving up her brother, she's not giving up Tommy. So she's like, you know what, cool, you could not give him up, but here's a card. Ask Tommy about, and call me when you want to, but ask Tommy about Lakeisha Grant, which is a name we haven't heard all season since. But you know what I'm saying, obviously Lakeisha Grant, there's some explaining to be done there. Even though Tommy didn't kill her, there's some explaining to be done there. And then she now has to end up, they call Vic back in again and gives Vic an ultimatum. Like, look, we can lock you in for life, or you can tell us that Tommy Egan killed our friend over there, which he does. So that worked out in her favor. That's like the first thing that's worked out in her favor. And the best thing she's gotten information-wise pretty much out of Vic, even though it's not true. So, you know what I'm saying? But Tommy's already called his lawyer. So I'm looking forward to seeing that battle, if that battle even occurs. But with that being said, this is the end of that Power recap. And we are in for a doozy for the penultimate episode and ultimately for the finale in the next couple weeks. So this is going to be crazy. This is going to be interesting, man. I shout out to Force. They came back this season with a vengeance. I think they heard the rumors. They heard the rumors that Force wasn't up to par with the other 2 shows, the other 2 spinoffs, and they were like, yo, we coming back. So with that being said, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Again, leave a comment. Even if you know what I'm saying, even if it's not about what I said, you have your own opinion, things of that nature. But let's close it out. Later.
Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't 4